Hi everyone, my name is Moni,
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
and today we're going to be playing Disney Lorcana using the new two-player starter set.
Yes, Disney Lorcana is a trading card game published by Ravensburger, who are helping sponsor this playthrough. Now, in this game, players are going to be taking on the roles of powerful sorcerers known as Illumineers. We're trying to play cards cleverly, outwit our opponents, and be the first one to score 20 lore.
That's right, and so today we're going to be playing using the two-player starter set, which comes with everything that you need to play, including two balanced decks. Each deck comes with a storage box. We have lore counters as well as damage tokens, and each deck also has two special foil cards.
Yes, and each deck is actually themed around toys and supers because one is going to be based off Toy Story while the other one is The Incredibles. Now, if you've never played Lorcana before, we are going to teach it as we play. But lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And with that, we are ready to begin. So, if you'd please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for a game of Disney Lorcana. Welcome to the realm. Now, like we're mentioning, this starter set includes two complete decks, and so today I'm going to be playing the Amethyst and Ruby deck, which is themed around The Incredibles.
Yes, and I'll be playing with the Amber and Emerald, which is themed around Toy Story.
This set also includes two separate lore trackers, which starts the game at 0, of course, as well as some damage counters, which we have off screen. Now, we've already shuffled our decks, so all we need to do now is see who's going to go first. What do you want to do?
Odds and evens.
What do you want?
I'll go evens.
1, 2, 3.
Evens.
Yes.
Two and two.
Okay,
Evens.
so Naveen is going to be going
I'll be
first
first.
today. So let's go ahead and draw our starting hand of seven cards.
See if I pulled a perfect 7. I did not.
Or, hopefully that means I'm going to get lucky. And again, you can alter your starting hand by discarding any number of cards from your hand,
Right.
drawing that many, and then reshuffling your deck. So let's see.
Now, of my 7 cards, 3 of them I want to alter. I want to alter my hand. So I'm going
Okay.
to take any cards that I started with, put them at the bottom of my deck, and draw up that many more cards. And then I will shuffle this deck, and then that forms my draw pile.
Yes, and players decide if they're going to alter in turn order. So since Naveen is now finished, I think I'm going to keep my hand.
You like it?
I don't think I'm going to alter any of them.
That's good.
I think it's not bad. It's going to be tough, I think, to decide what to ink.
Okay.
But, well, now the pressure is on. I don't know if I'm going to play it well.
Sure.
But here we go.
Okay.
All right, now if you've never played Lorcana before, again, our goal is to be the first player to score 20 lore. And we're going to be keeping track of our lore via our lore trackers. Now, in general, on your turn, you'll ready your cards, set them, and then you'll always draw a card into your hand, except for the first turn of the game. And then you'll do things such as playing character cards from your hand. A majority of cards cost ink that you'll have to sort of spend each turn in order to play them. And ink cards will also come from your hand. So we'll just explain the game as we play it. So for now, Naveen, why don't you go ahead and take the first turn?
Okay, perfect. So for me, there are no cards played here, so there's nothing really to ready or set. And because I'm the very first player taking the very first turn, I do not draw a single card. Monique will do that on her turn. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my cards from my hand into my inkwell. Now you can only do this once per turn, and you can only do this with cards that have this symbol in the top left corner. So cards look like this, and in the top left corner, if you see this kind of swirly symbol, then that means it's eligible to become ink in your inkwell. So I'm going to use this card. It's called the Growing Pressure to go into my inkwell. Now, any cards in your inkwell will be in your inkwell for the rest of the game.
Yes.
And this basically represents part of the currency that you can use to deploy other cards into play.
Which means Naveen will never use this card for its opposite side for the rest of the game.
Right.
This card has now been inked permanently.
Now, these cards in our hand have a variable cost. Some of them cost more than 1 ink to put into play. So this is where I will end my very first turn. I just have 1 card in my inkwell.
Okay, so then it goes to me. Ready, set, and draw. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card. And I too will start by adding ink into my inkwell. So this is LeFou, who I'm going to be inking today.
Okay.
And now that I have a single ink, I am going to play a card. This is Sleepy. Sleepy is a character card who costs 1 ink. And when paying your ink, you must exert these ink cards by turning them sideways to show that you've used them this turn, and they cannot be readied or otherwise used again until the start of your next turn. So, characters are quite important in this game because you can use them to quest, gaining you the number of lore that's on the right-hand side here. You can also use them to challenge other players' characters in order to attempt to remove them from play if you think that opponent is getting too strong. And a lot of times these characters have abilities. As for Sleepy over here, Sleepy has Pleasant Dreams, which says when this character is banished, which means some effect, typically getting challenged, requires me to remove Sleepy from play or discard Sleepy. If you have a 7 dwarfs or princess character in play, you may draw a card. And each character will have titles attached to them. As an example, Sleepy over here is a storyboard ally and 7 dwarfs. So if I have another character in play that is 7 dwarfs or a princess character, when Sleepy is banished, I can draw a card. So that is Sleepy. Now, the turn that you put a character into play, you can't actually do much with them because their ink is drying. So I'm just going to put Sleepy up here to represent that Sleepy's ink is drying, and I will set Sleepy into my play area at the start of my next turn. All right, now I have no more ink to spend, so I'm going to pass to you, Naveen.
Okay, perfect. So once again, there's nothing to ready because I didn't actually use this ink, so it's already in the ready position. Nothing to set because I did not play a card out there, but I do get to draw for my first time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink Bullseye over here. So Bullseye now becomes part of my inkwell. So now I have 2 in there. And I will play Pluto. So Pluto over here is going to cost me 2 ink. So I'm going to exert both those ink in my inkwell. And Pluto has a strength of 1 and a willpower of 4. So that's basically their protection or basically their health. And so this one, the ability is Beware of Dog. Whenever this character goes on a quest, if you played another character this turn, that chosen opposing character gets -1 strength until the start of your next turn.
Ooh.
So basically, I can create a little situation where I make your characters a little bit weaker, just for one turn, of course.
Just for that one turn, yeah.
So that's it for me. Simple turn. I'm going to pass to you.
All right, so now I'm going to ready my ink. I'm going to set Sleepy over here, who is now dry, and I'll draw. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink Daisy Duck. So Daisy Duck has now been inked. Now I have 2 ink in my inkwell. And with that ink, I will play Frozone. All right, so Frozone costs 2 ink, and Frozone is super slick and evasive. So basically, evasive characters can only be challenged by other evasive characters. So in order for Naveen to try to challenge and hopefully try to banish Frozone, he needs to do so with another character that has that evasive ability. Frozone here also has 2 strength and 2 willpower, and when questing, it's going to be for 1 lore. And while we're on the topic of questing, now that Sleepy is dry, I basically have 2 options for what I can do with him. The first thing is I can use Sleepy to challenge one of Naveen's characters, but only if they are exerted. The only character Naveen has right now is Pluto, who is not exerted because Pluto was just played. So we'll talk about challenging later because I'm sure we'll do that at some point. And the other option, which is the way to win, is you can quest with these characters by exerting their card and gaining the number of lore equal to the number of these symbols that are on the bottom right-hand corner, which in the case of Sleepy over here is 1 lore. So I am now on the map.
You are 5% there.
A single lore, 1 of 20.
Yeah.
Once a character has been exerted, you essentially can't really do anything with them again until they've been readied, which is typically at the start of your turn.
So now on my turn, since Sleepy has been exerted, they are technically susceptible to me challenging them.
Yes, which is not super great because Sleepy is not particularly strong.
No.
But I figured Sleepy had such a low ink cost. Let's just get Sleepy out there and then
Get your point.
try to get some lore when I can, right?
Yeah.
All right, and that is it for me. So now I pass to you.
Okay, very good. So ready, the ink. We are going to set Pluto, and now I'm going to draw. Okay, it kind of pains me to do this, but I'm going to ink Lenny.
Oh,
Lenny over here. Unfortunately,
Lenny.
I know. I'm gonna have to ink them.
Those
so
eyes.
that's 3 cards in my inkwell, and
Okay.
then I am going to play Hamish, Hubert, and Harris.
Oh.
Now this one is going to cost me 3 ink, so it's going to cost everything. So we're not able to put out multiple cards right now yet.
Yes.
But as the inkwell grows, then we'll be able to play multiple cards at once. Okay, so this one, they have 3 strength and 3 willpower. And this one has evasive. So just like Frozone has evasive, I also have one now. And only characters with evasive can challenge this character. So that's
Okay.
very, very good for me.
Interesting.
Okay, so now I'm going to quest with Pluto. Now, again, Pluto has Beware of Dog, which, if we remember, it's whenever this character quests, if I played another character, which I did with this card over here, then I choose an opposing character. Monique, I'm going to choose you.
Okay.
And one of your characters gets -1 strength until the start of my next turn.
Okay, who?
Let's do
Who are you afraid of?
Frozone.
Okay.
Let's do Frozone.
Frozone has 1 strength.
Yeah, so instead of it being a 2-2, it's going to be a 1-2 until
right.
the start of my next turn.
Super Slick is now slightly less slick.
Yes, so now I've quested with
Okay.
Pluto. So I'm going to get myself one. So I'm
One
on the
lore.
board now.
So we're tied.
Tied.
1-1.
1-1. There we go.
All right.
That's going to be it for me. I'm going to pass. And now it goes back to you.
All right, let's ready, set. Now Frozone has dried, and let's draw. All right, well, she has returned Daisy Duck, who I'm going to ink again.
Back to the ink of Daisy.
Back to the inkwell. So I have 3 ink in my inkwell. I'm going to play a character. And following the theme, I have Sneezy. I have Sleepy, and now I have Sneezy.
Nice, you're loading them up.
So Sneezy costs 3 ink. So let's go ahead and exert my ink. Sneezy has 3 strength, 4 willpower, and an ability. Because Sneezy is startlingly loud, Sneezy's ability is Gesundheit. When you play this character, a chosen character gets +1 lore this turn. So Sneezy is going to stay over here to dry.
Okay.
But since you have decreased Frozone's strength, we are going to increase Frozone's lore just for this turn, which means I'm going to quest with Frozone. So it's going to give me 2 lore instead of just 1.
Okay.
That is just for this turn. So now I'm at 3. What do you think, Naveen?
How would I know you had that?
All right. Frankly, I might as well quest with Sleepy as well, because now I do have another character that is part of the 7 Dwarves, which means if Sleepy were to get banished, then I get to draw cards. That's pretty nice. So I'm going to quest with Sleepy.
That's good.
That's going to be 1 additional lore for a total of 4. All right, so I've inked my 1 card, I played a card, and that's it. I'm going to pass.
All right, so goes to me. We are going to ready and set. So now Frozone, their strength is 2 again.
Yes.
And let me go ahead and draw my card. Ooh, I have some really good cards here that I can't justify inking them, but I have to ink them at some point. So
oh yeah, that is the
unfortunate.
The debate.
You've been Daisy Duck went down
twice.
In
fact.
This pains me. Donald Duck. Look how nice this is. There's 2 lore.
Yeah.
Lots of willpower, which is basically their defense of attack.
But 5 ink requirement.
Ink
that's
requirement.
expensive.
Yeah.
What do we have against these ducks?
Donald Duck. Well, because you did double Daisy, I'm gonna go 1 Donald.
Okay.
So now I have 4 cards in my inkwell, and we all know this character. We are gonna put Peter Pan in play.
Oh hey.
Peter Pan costs 3, so 3 of my 4 is gonna be spent. Peter Pan, nothing special other than 2 lore, 3 and 3.
2 lore. That's
2 lore.
Amazing.
I can't use it yet.
Okay.
Okay, now we are gonna have our very first challenge.
Okay. Who?
Hamish, Hubert, and Harris are evasive, as is Frozone over there. So I'm going to challenge Frozone because Frozone is exerted.
Yes.
They are eligible for challenge.
That's right. And what challenging does is Naveen is essentially going to be attacking my character. Now, the important part is that the character that you're challenging must be exerted.
Yes.
So if you don't want an opponent to challenge any of your characters, then simply don't exert them on your turn. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. When challenging, both characters are simultaneously going to apply damage to the other character equal to their strength value. And so Frozone over here only has a strength of 2, which means we're going to place 2 damage counters on Hamish, Hubert, and Harris over here. Now, on the other hand, they have a strength of 3, so we're going to add 3 damage to Frozone. Then, if the amount of damage on a character is equal to or greater than their willpower, they become banished. So in the case of Frozone, Frozone has 3 damage and only 2 willpower. Unfortunately, Frozone gets banished.
See ya.
And in this game, when you banish cards, they get placed into your discard pile, which we are going to hold off screen. Since we're not going to be reshuffling our decks, because at the end of your turn, if you run out of cards in your deck, then you lose.
And of course, in order to make this challenge happen, I have to exert my character, meaning they cannot go on a quest because they've already been used. Now, I will quest with Pluto. And you have that Beware of Dog again.
Okay.
So I'm going to gain 1 lore, and I'm going to make Sneezy a little bit weaker.
So 2?
2 instead of 3. Yeah.
All right.
I don't like it. So right now, basically, instead of me having 3 willpower, I only have 1 now because of this 2 damage that's on my character.
Okay.
So that's it for me. I'm going to pass, even though I have 1 ink left.
All right. First blood has been spilled. Naveen has banished one of my characters. So let's ready and set, and let's draw. All right. First, I'm going to ink Negaduck over here. So now I have 4 ink. My inkwell. Then, before I do anything else, I'm going to challenge Pluto over there, who is exerted, which is fine, and not evasive, right?
Not evasive.
All right, I am challenging Pluto using Sneezy. So Sneezy has 3 strength, But unfortunately, it's really 2 because it was -1 from
Beware
Pluto's
of that.
ability.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm placing 2 damage counters on Pluto. And what is Pluto's strength?
Pluto's strength is 1.
1.
So you put 1 damage on yours.
1 goes on to Sneezy. And since I use Sneezy to challenge, then Sneezy is exerted. Unfortunately, it's not enough to banish Pluto because Pluto has a willpower of 4. So I think I'm going to use Sleepy to challenge Pluto as well.
Oh.
So that's going to be 1 additional damage
Yeah.
to Pluto for a total of 3.
And then 1 damage to Sleepy.
Only 1, huh?
Just like
It
your
just
only
seemed
one.
like there should be more. And Sleepy
Seems.
has a willpower of 2.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. Then I'm going to play a character card. This is Violet Par. So Violet here costs 3 ink. So let me go and exert my ink.
Okay.
And Violet is evasive. She has a strength of 4 and 2 willpower. And Violet's ability is called Deflect. When you play this character, you may move 1 damage from a chosen character to a chosen opposing character.
Oh.
And honestly, I was going to use Violet's ability to do away with Pluto, but since your other character here has evasive, this might be a good way to just get rid of them.
It's a great way to do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm going to move a damage from Sneezy.
Okay.
Because if Sleepy gets banished, it's partially beneficial for me.
Yep.
And I'm going to move it onto this character. So now you have 3
a shame.
damage. They only have 3 willpower, so they are banished.
They're banished. Oh,
All
it's
right.
a shame.
And Violet is going to be left here to dry. But I'm not done because I am going to play another Sleepy.
Oh.
So another Sleepy makes an appearance here. That's going to be for the last ink in my inkwell. And we already know what Sleepy does. However, they are both drying, so I can't do anything else with them.
Okay.
I didn't get any lore during that turn, but it still
That was
felt satisfying,
yeah. It was
frankly.
good. That was good. You took out some of my characters, and
Yes.
another one's weak. Yeah, that's
All right.
not good.
Pass to you, Naveen.
All right, so let's go ahead and ready everybody. We got 4 ink, I think. Yeah, okay. Just keep that 4 there. Peter Pan set. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw my card. I am gonna ink Augustin Madrigal, unfortunately. So that's gonna go into there. Now I have 5 total, which is good for me because I'm gonna play Todd.
Oh,
Todd
hi.
over here costs 5, so it's gonna cost all my ink. They have 5 strength, 4 willpower. Whenever you quest them, it's 2 lore, but they have evasive. So only characters with evasive. But you do have somebody that has evasive.
Yes, Violet.
Yeah, can challenge them basically. So I have to spend all 5.
Okay.
Felt bad, putting that character in here, but I had to. Then I am going to quest with Pluto.
Okay.
So because
Yes.
we're gonna quest, I'm gonna basically say you
the
have
thing.
-1.
Who?
It's gonna be Sneezy again. So Sneezy has -1
-1?
once again.
Okay.
So now they are gonna get me 1 more lore to 3.
Okay.
And then honestly, Peter Pan, go on your quest. You might get attacked. You might get challenged. That's okay.
Go on.
Go on, do
Go
your
on,
thing.
Peter.
Go on, Peter. Get me a quarter of my way there.
So you're at 5?
5 lore. 5 is good.
Oh, this is
Peter's toast,
challenging.
though. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna let me do this multiple times. This is so I have to do it at some point.
That's a bait. Naveen
You're like,
is
just watch me.
rage bait.
Oh, you do that 3 times.
Okay.
All right, that's it for me. I'm gonna pass.
All right. Let's ready. So lots to ready. How much do I have? I have 4.
4.
4 ink here. Ready. Let's set. I'm going to move Sleepy next to the other Sleepy so that they can be sleepy together. All right. And then we'll draw. I'm going to go ahead and start by playing a card. This is Mirage. Mirage costs 4 ink, so all of my ink. And Mirage has 3 strength, 3 willpower, but more importantly, Mirage has business arrangement, which says when you play this character, if you have a super or hero character in play, you may draw a card. I happen to have Violet Par over here, who is both a super and a hero.
You have to draw a card?
But I can still only draw 1 card.
Okay, yeah.
So there's that. I'm also going to ink another Negaduck, which is just 1 single unexerted ink.
You got another sleepy or something?
Then I have to do this. This is so annoying that Sneezy always has a strength of 2.
Thanks
Because
for that.
Naveen's right. I cannot let Naveen have Peter Pan.
Yeah.
If Peter Pan stays there and Todd comes into play, then Naveen's going to have 4 lore.
power.
It's not good. But Peter Pan has 3 willpower, so Sneezy's 2 is not going to be enough. So I have to challenge. I'm going to challenge Peter Pan with Sneezy. So that's going to be 2 damage.
On top of Peter Pan.
And Peter Pan
Does 3 to you.
does 3 to Sneezy.
3 strength to
that's
your.
bad.
So now Sneezy only has 1 willpower left.
That
as
is correct.
Peter Pan also only has 1.
But not for long, because Sleepy is going to
Come at me.
challenge Peter Pan for that last
The pre-damage sleepy.
re-damage sleepy
Okay.
is going to deal one more to you for a total of 3.
Nobody saw that
So
coming.
that banishes Peter Pan. That also banishes Sleepy because Peter Pan deals
3 to your 2.
3. Yeah, 3 to my.
Peter, you were lovely. Thank you.
The thing that is beautiful though about Sleepy is when this character is banished. If you have a 7 dwarfs or princess character in play, you might draw a card. So Sleepy is banished, but I get to draw a card. And with my last 2 characters, I'm going to quest because I can't fall behind.
2 quests.
So that's 2 lore. So I go to 6. Oh my gosh. I'm sweating over here. All right, pass to you, Naveen.
Love the fact that Pluto's still alive. That's
I hate that for me.
We are going to
Pluto.
ready my 5 ink. We are going to bring Todd into the set position. Draw a card. There we go. All right, Monique, I think you're going to like this. I'm going to play another Todd.
Oh my gosh, Todd.
Todd
you are
squared.
You're not welcome here.
So it's going to cost 5.
Okay.
I'll
Todd
get-
squared.
Todd squared. There we go. We are going to quest with Pluto.
Okay.
So let's go on a quest, and I'm going to have to identify one of your characters.
Who?
Who's a little
Pluto is
sneezy.
easy. All right.
Well, Violet. We're going to make Violet 1 less strength.
Okay.
Violet will have 1 less strength, so Violet's strength is going to be a 3. And then this Todd that is readied is going to be exerted on a quest for 2.
Okay.
A quest for 2, so now I'm at 8.
You're at 8. Ah,
You're
8
at
to my 6.
Yeah.
This is bad.
I started the game, though.
And then you're gonna have 5.
Another Todd coming through.
Oh, we gotta do something about that
Yeah,
because that can't be. Although it probably will be,
it shall be.
unfortunately. Anything else?
That's it. Simple turn. Pass.
All right, so that's ready. So I have 5 ink. I'm gonna ready a injured Sneezy over here. Let's bring Mirage down.
You're able to draw cards, though. That's pretty
I am
good. See,
able
I
to
only
draw
have 2
cards.
cards left. I didn't ink on that one.
Yeah, but your cards are so strong.
I know, but you get.
You don't need to ink every single time if you're using your ink very well, you know?
It's true.
All right, let's start by challenging Pluto with Sleepy.
It's time.
So no damage needed because they're both gonna get banished. It's that one last one for Pluto, and Pluto has
Just one.
Oh no,
No.
no, I was wrong. I always
Here,
think
ink-
that Pluto is stronger than.
So your 1 is going to go onto this, making this 4.
Yeah.
4 to the 4. It's even. So unfortunately, Pluto was strong there.
I thought I
Pluto
was
played
gonna get
well.
banished for a second there.
You
So
have a lot of
Pluto only
cards
hit a
in
strength
play.
of 1. So that's nice. All right, now who did you say has -1 strength?
Violet.
Violet. My
Yeah.
evasive Violet par over
You're
here.
evasive to my Todd evasive. Yeah.
How much willpower does Todd have?
Todd has 4 willpower.
All right, well, I'm playing an action card. This is Inner Strength. Action cards are just a one-off effect. You exert the ink, which in this case is just 1 single ink, and then you do what it says. This says chosen character gets +1 strength this turn, and then I draw a card. What do you know? Violet.
Dang it.
Violet is gonna be.
I needed Todd to survive that. Come on.
Violet's gonna have 4 strength. So Violet is dealing 4 damage to Todd, who only happens
Dang
to
it.
have 4
I
willpower.
needed them to score me twice.
Well, Todd is also going to deal 5 damage to
Yeah.
Violet, who only has 2 willpower. So it was a
know.
character for a character. But that feels good.
I have
all
nobody
right.
in play.
Oh, and I get to draw a card. Because that was what
That's how that works.
the action card did. Okay. So now I have 4 ink left. I'm going to play Eleanor.
Oh.
Eleanor, the bespelled queen who costs the 4 ink. So
Uh-oh.
let's exert my
See
ink.
2 lore on the side of that.
Eleanor, yes, quest for 2 lore, but Eleanor has 3 strength, 4 willpower, and also has challenger, which is +2. While challenging, this character gets +2 strength.
Oh,
So Eleanor is just gonna dry off over here while my other characters quest. Let's go and quest with both of them. I need some points, so I'm gonna quest with both Sneezy
we're
and
tied
Raj.
8-8.
So
Equal
yes.
amount of turns. You have way more cards in play.
8-8. I have a few more cards in play, but you have another Todd. So
Yeah.
that's it. I pass to you.
Okay, let's ready my 5 ink. We are going to set and then draw. I'm going to ink Julieta Madrigal
Oh, okay.
into the pile. They go.
Wow, it's a lot of ink.
So I have 6, and let's go ahead and put out another Hamish, Hubert, and Harris.
Oh, they're
You're familiar
back.
with them. Costs 3.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. Then everybody knows this character. Okay, you know this
It's a
character?
lot of pressure.
Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, hey.
One of my foil cards.
your
if you-
foil
if you can
cards.
see. Right here, yeah. So they cost the last 3. Buzz Lightyear, 4 strength, 2 willpower. Not as much willpower as you'd think. But they have secret mission. Whenever you pay 2 ink or less to play a non-character, draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So
Oh.
basically, you can see more. It's unfortunate I have no cards in hand, so that's not very useful
So it's like
for
a
me.
future thing.
Yeah, like I would have to acquire a lot more cards to make it a decision. Otherwise, I'm drawing the card and discarding it.
Yeah, that's true. Don't do
Right.
that.
And then I have World's Greatest Toy. Whenever you pay 2 ink or less and play a character, deal 1 damage to a chosen opposing damaged character. So somebody like Sleepy or Sneezy, they already have damage on them.
Yes.
I would be able to then add damage.
But you have to pay 2 ink to play a character.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which I have no cards in hand right now,
Right.
so it's. I'm gonna see how this goes right now.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. You have nobody evasive right now, right?
I have no evasive. No.
I am going to turn you sideways and go on a Todd quest for 10.
Go, Todd, run.
Go,
Todd.
run to the finish line, Todd. Do that
right.
5 more times for
Oh,
the
you're
victory.
halfway.
I am halfway, yeah. So that's it for me. I can't do any more actions. I'm gonna pass.
All right, that's ready. So I have all 5. When I'm ready, let's set Eleanor, strong Eleanor,
Very strong.
over here. I mean, look at that stance. That
Fortunately,
pose.
Eleanor cannot attack Todd because Todd is evasive.
Okay, let's draw. All right, so first I'm going to ink Happy. So Happy does not get to join Sleepy and Sneezy, but Happy gets to join my ink.
Okay.
So now I have 6 ink in here. And with that 6 ink, I am going to play another Frozone, but this is Frozone Super Cool, who costs 6 ink
Okay.
in order to put into play. Frozone has 6 strength and 4 willpower. Also, I can quest using Frozone for 2 lore, but more importantly, Frozone has Rush, which says this character can challenge the turn they're played and just chill when you play this character. If you have another super character in play, which I thought I had, but I actually don't, which is okay. It says you may exert a chosen opposing character. So the thing that's cool with that is you can exert another character who you wanted to attack, but you otherwise would not have been able
Couldn't, yeah.
to because they were not exerted, which is fine because I really wanted to put Frozone into play for the 2.
I mean, that's
lore
a lot of lore
in the
coming our way.
future, yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right, seeing as I cannot challenge Todd with any of these characters because none of them are evasive, I'm just going to go on a mad questing spree.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quest with all of them. So that's
All
1,
5.
2,
5 core.
3, 4, 5
Yep.
lore. So I go up to 13.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to flip this
That's
over
not good.
and I'm going to land right here at 13. 7 more to go.
Okay.
All right, I passed you, Naveen.
Oh boy. Well, let's go ahead and ready it all. Let's get my characters here. So I got 3 here, but wow, you got a lot of firepower coming your way in terms of lore. Draw a card.
No one's evasive though.
I feel like it's a large mountain to climb here. You got a lot of lore coming your way.
You have a single card.
I have a single card that I just drew.
Is it good?
Not
useful?
it's useful, but not when you don't have other cards.
Okay.
I'll probably
So,
reveal it at some point. And you're
not
like,
right now."
Not right now, but like I
Okay.
must acquire more cards, meaning I have to survive another turn. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I mean-
6, 7. You have 7 coming your way.
None of them are evasive.
None of them are basic. Oh, no, I know, but if I don't do anything about this, you can just be like, great, on my turn, I win.
Yeah, so I mean, that is the one thing that you can't let happen.
I cannot let that happen.
You're going to have to sacrifice some characters.
Gosh. Well, I'm going to use Todd to challenge Eleanor over there. So
Okay.
Eleanor, only when they challenge, they gain extra strength. But when
Correct.
they're challenged, then they only have their base
There's
3.
three strength.
Yeah.
So,
Todd has 5 and 4.
5 and 4
Yeah. So my 5 is good enough to
to
take
banish
out
Eleanor. Eleanor has 3 strength. Over to Todd.
Todd. Yeah. So Todd is going to have 3 on, but
There you
they're still
go.
evasive, which is kind of good. Now, unfortunately, I'm not getting my 2 lore here, but you know, I'm
Eleanor was
helping myself
banished.
out here. Yep.
Ugh, mighty Eleanor.
I'll use Buzz Lightyear to challenge Sleepy over there.
Oh,
So
really?
this is going to be a little overkill. So I have 4 strength.
Strength to the one last.
Yeah.
Strength needed to banish Sleepy. Well, Sleepy deals 1
One.
damage
So
to you,
I'll take
Buzz.
I'll take the one that's on Sleepy.
Okay.
Put it on there and then
So
Sleepy's.
Sleepy is now banished. When this character is banished, if you have a 7 dwarf or princess character in play, you may draw a card. So I get to draw a card. All right.
All right, that's pretty good. And then we're just going to go on a quest. We're going to go on a single quest right here. So now I have
1.
11. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oy, oy, oy. They're both evasive though, so that's kind of like the one silver lining there.
Except for Buzz.
Except for Buzz, but I made it so that Buzz is like you have to use your big cards to try to damage him and banish him when he just has 1 health.
Okay.
So that's gonna be it for me. I pass.
All right, let's ready. So I only have my characters have been whittled down a little bit. Set and draw. First, I'm going to put another par into play. We have dash. Dash par costs 5 ink. I think do I have 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here's the 5. Dash par is super speedy. He has 6 strength, 5 willpower, and rush. So this character can challenge the turn they are played, and challenge he will.
Okay.
So we're challenging Buzz Lightyear.
There you go.
So 6 strength to
Well, four damage back
4
to you.
damage back to me. So Dash is a little bit weakened here.
Yeah.
But still,
But Buzz is out now.
I wouldn't have been able to do anything else with Dash otherwise. I was only able to challenge because Dash has rush.
Yeah.
All right. I can't do anything about the other evasive characters, so let's go ahead and quest with the rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm questing with all 3. So 4, I'm at 17. Oh my gosh. So close. All right, past you, Naveen.
Oh, I don't think I can do anything about this. Okay, let's go ahead and ready, set. Let's draw. Okay, I am going to play this card here, Lord MacGuffin.
Oh.
This one's going to cost me 5 of my ink. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, and I have 1 left.
Okay.
Now this one says, so they have 6 strength and 4 willpower.
Super strong.
Wait for it. This character may enter play, so right now, exerted to deal 3 damage to chosen damage character. You only have 1 character that, well, you have 2 characters that
2.
have damage.
So who would you like to get rid of?
I'm going to get rid of Dash.
Dash.
Let's get rid of Dash, because
Okay.
Dash was going to score. So I'm going to
So-
make them exerted.
So 3 damage to Dash.
Yeah.
And that's when they enter play, right?
When they enter play.
Okay,
That was
so
the moment.
Dash has been banished.
Then it's all about survival here, really, because if I don't do anything about this card, specifically Frozone, then you got me. So I'm going to challenge, and unfortunately by me challenging, Todd is going to go bye-bye. But I'm going to challenge. I'm just going to go out swinging.
So 5 strength.
5 strength.
Frozen only has 4 willpower, so
so-
Frozen will get banished.
yeah.
6 strength,
It's back to
back
Todd.
to Todd. So they're both just
They're both
banished.
gone.
They're both out.
The 2s and
Frozen,
the 2s.
you were super cool.
They were, yeah, that was good.
All right. Wow. Look who's Sneezy is a survivor. Look at Sneezy go.
Easy surviving. All right, we're just going to go ahead and go on a little
quest?
quest.
Okay.
Make it 12. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. That's it for me, even though I have 1 ink left. I'll pass.
All right. So I'm at 17. I can't get to 20 right now, but we can get pretty close.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and ready. I'm going to ready. And then nothing to set, but I'll draw. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Negaduck into play this time.
Oh.
So I inked this character a couple of times, but now I'm putting them into play. So it's 2 ink. They are pretty strong. 4 strength, 2 willpower. No other bells and whistles, but they can quest for 1 lore. And now that I have a super character in play, I'm going to play another Mirage. So that's the other 4 ink that I have to pay. The exact same card, to this card, but since I now have a super character in play, business arrangement here says when you play this character, if you have a super or hero character in play, you may draw a card.
Nice.
So I'm gonna draw a card.
You're getting cards, man.
Yes, this deck has been very nice for being able to draw more cards into my hand. And I think that's it. So let's go and quest with both of these characters because it is time to just run. This is the
Yeah, I
sprinting,
mean, you're only
the
3 away.
sprinting season. So I'm at 19. Oh my gosh, so close. Can taste it.
I can't score 8 in 1 turn with 2 cards
You can
out
try.
there. I can try. I can
Well, I
make
pass to you. Let's see it.
You pass. You want to see this grandiose 8-point turn?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to bring these all in. Ready,
Okay.
set. I'm going to draw. I'm at a point where it's like, do I make my score 15 or do I attack you? You know?
If I'm going to hit 20 anyway.
You are going to hit 20 anyway. I'm going to go for 15. We're
Okay.
going on a double quest here. Hamish, Hubert, Harris, and Lord MacGuffin for 1, 2, 3. We're coming in peace on our quest.
Okay.
No challenge.
No challenge.
My evasive challenge.
How kind.
Yes. And I will pass.
All right.
Yeah. I saw the
Well,
writing on the wall, basically.
Let's bring it home, shall we?
Yes.
We still must follow the protocol, though. So
Right.
we're going to ready.
You must ready.
We're going to set and draw. And then before I finish it, actually, I just want to put this into play because you got to put one of your foil cards into play.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
putting Jack Jack. I have 3 of the pars. I've seen 3 of the pars this game for 4.
They all rose to the top. That was a nice cut.
4 ink. So Jack Jack is one of the foil cards in this deck. Jack Jack has 4 strength, 4 willpower, and an ability that says weird things are happening. At the start of your turn, you may put the top card of your deck into your discard. And if its card type is a character, then this character gets +2 strength this turn. If it's an action or an item, this character gets +2 lore this turn. Or if it's a location, you banish a chosen character. So
You want to see it?
really interesting. Well, it would be at the start of my next turn.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be now because Jack Jack is drying.
And
just
you
like
would have
everybody
drawn
else.
a card. So it's whatever the second card here is, you would know.
Yes, that is true.
Because you would start your turn by drawing a card. So if you want to see it,
You want to see it?
Well, after you do your mega quest
Okay,
right here.
let's finish up.
Yeah.
Let's finish the game. So I'm going to mega quest. I'm just going to quest with everybody for a grand total of technically more than 20, but we're just going to hit 20.
The counter goes to 20.
We're going to hit 20. And we'll be
I
done.
only lost by 5, not
There
not
you
8.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, because technically, you would only quest once and then the game ends.
Yes, that's
you wouldn't
true.
quest and then get like.
No,
extra
you would just hit
bonus
the
points.
20. You would hit the 20 lore and be done.
So
Like, that's it.
Ready them.
20.
Ready those 3.
Okay, I'll ready the 3.
Sneezy did well.
Sneezy, you are the hero
Sneeze
today.
the finish
with a
line.
Mega sneeze. All right. That's it. The game is now over. Shall we check out what that card
Okay,
would have
so it would have been my turn. You would have went back to your turn. You would have drawn a card into
been?
your
Yes.
hand.
And then it would be the
And then
second
whatever
card.
this
So
card
this is
is,
the card I would have done to my hand.
To know what Jack Jack was
Jack
up to.
Jack, next turn.
Banish him.
Oh,
Another
my other
foil.
foil card. It's Mrs. Incredible. Okay, so Mrs. Incredible is a
It
character.
really did rise to the top.
So if its card type is a character, this character gets +2 strength this turn. So Jack Jack would have had 6 strength on my next turn.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then I would have had Mrs. Incredible. Oh no, if I wanted to enact Jack Jack's ability, I would have had to put Mrs. Incredible into my discard. So Mrs. Incredible has a very similar kind of thing here. This is flexible thinking. At the start of your turn, you may choose one. Either this character gains evasive until the start of your next turn, which would have been amazing
Yeah,
for your
against
evasive
me,
characters,
yeah.
or this character gets +1 lore this turn.
Oh.
So realistically, I
Strong.
probably would not have discarded Mrs. Incredible. So I wouldn't have done that,
Yeah.
you know?
Should we see what my foil would have been? The other one?
Yes.
Because we saw Buzz Lightyear. Let's see if it was the next one.
It was Jesse.
It rose to the
So
top as
Buzz
well.
and Jesse
Yeah.
are your 2 foil cards.
Yeah, so this one, 3 and 3 for the strength. Part of a family. Whenever this character quests, if you have 2 or more other toy characters in play, you may draw a card. That's a good way to get in a card.
Yes.
Then we have Yodel-a-Yee-Hoo.
No.
All right.
You put effort there, Naveen.
Yeah, I think I said that right. Whenever you pay 2 ink or less to play a card, the chosen opposing character gets -1 strength. So very similar to Pluto.
Yeah.
But Pluto was whenever I go on a quest, it's -1 strength. It's whenever I pay 2 or less for a character.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, whenever I pay 2 or less ink.
To put a character into play.
A card into play.
Okay.
I choose one of your characters and I say -1 strength.
And I think it is Yodele He Who, by the way.
I've never read the word yodele. So that's the
You've
first
only ever
time.
sung it?
I've only ever sung it, so that's why I was like yodel a he ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
So Naveen's
There you
is
go.
the Amber and Emerald deck. So all of the cards in Naveen's deck are going to be of those 2 ink types. And I have the Amethyst and Ruby deck. So some of the other cards you'll see are Mickey Mouse. I had another Inner Strength, by the way, which would have added an additional strength to a character this turn. I was able to draw cards very often. I really wanted to put Rabbit into play just because of the look of Rabbit. look at that
Nothing
expression
to
right
quest
there.
with 2 lore.
Yeah.
To do with that.
We also have some locations we didn't get to put into play, like
didn't draw one. Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow locations typically have some sort of effect or characteristic to them. As an example, Sleepy Hollow over here says head for the bridge. Whenever a character quests while here, because you can move characters to locations, you may banish this location to gain 2 lore and give them evasive until the start of your next turn. And the thing that is especially neat about some locations is they give you lore at the start of your turn. This one doesn't have lore, but has a really strong ability, as you can see.
And you can challenge locations as well.
Yes, to get rid of them. So I have Will o' the Wisp, another Frozone. I have a lot of cards that are centered around the Incredibles because that's sort of the theme of my deck. I have this really enchanting Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So a lot of cards that allow me to draw other cards, but really not many evasive characters, which is going to be the strength against Naveen.
Yeah, of course. And a lot of my deck really has to do with kind of messing with you. So like Donald Duck over here, who I ended up inking at one point. I had another copy of it. Whenever this character quests, if you played another character this turn, each opponent chooses and discards a card. So you know how you were drawing cards? I can be like, well, now you got to discard one. There's this card over here that I should probably talk about, which is Merida. Merida is very strong. When you quest with them, you get 2 lore, but also you have this fierce protection. While this character is exerted, so when they're turned sideways, whenever an opposing character challenges, you may deal 1 damage to the challenging character. So you basically start by saying, okay, you know what? First blood is you're going to get struck.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cards that kind of do stuff like that just kind of mess around with you.
Yeah, that specifically affect what I'm going to do on my turn.
Yep. Well, there you have it. That is the new starter set for Disney Lorcana. Now, if you have any questions about the gameplay you saw here, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.